What is going on, and welcome back everyone. It's your boy Flex, and today we're going to be talking about mount buff items. Yes, we already know mounts are coming. Everyone and their mom is talking about mounts, and they're regurgitating all the good stuff. Go watch those guys for that stuff. Good. Let's talk about mount buff items specifically and how this is going to affect open world combat. So I'm going to pull this over for you guys on my main screen. We're going to take a quick look at this. So mount buff items, right? Bolster your riding style with mount buffs, XYZ. You get all these through just leveling your mounts. Earn this rare loot through quests, riding trade skills, open world drops. Open world drops being another good thing for this. So let's take a look at these specific buffs. So we have apply cleanse, apply and empower, apply fortify, apply haste, apply heal, reduce damage on landing, which I think is kind of funny. I don't think that's really required, but whatever. Reduce summoning time, increase encumbrance tolerance. Again, I don't know if this is really required. We'll find out in the future why they have these two in here. I don't know why that would be needed. And then dash capacity, power, recharge speed could be buffed. So how this is going to directly affect open world PvP. So obviously you guys, I'm sure if you have ever PvP'd, you're familiar with Zephyr Cakes. I see something like this and I go, ooh, that could be extremely useful in open world PvP. Now, obviously mounts are going to get you from point A to point B much faster, up to 5 times faster, which is incredible. That's great that they actually made it fast. I hope they reduce some of the shrines in New World now, since we're going to have this, capability to move between areas really quickly. Mounts will obviously affect, the territory control changes they're going to be doing for the territory pushes. A video on that later on how I think that's actually going to be affected for open world. Now, when I see things like cleanse, empower, fortifies, I think like classes. So I see cleanse being great for, bruisers, fortify being great for bruisers, haste being great for, decks and or healers. Heals can be great for almost anybody. I mean, generally speaking, a lot of these are going to be great because you're going to see a lot of newer players, not necessarily newer players to PvP actually doing PvP now in open world, which is really, really good. I'm really excited for that. A thing to think about when you're looking at these mount buffs is really contemplate what could happen if you have a group of 5 roll up on you. And let's say you have a group of 5 and you have 2 bruisers, a dex, a healer, and a fire staff. If they roll up on you and you've got 2 bruisers that hop off with fortify on, you've got the dex with the haste, you have, or empower for that matter, and then you have the life staff guy running I don't know, probably haste or empower or cleanse even. It's going to really diversify PvP. Like, it's going to be a really diverse thing when you have people being dismounted. Now, note that it says forced dismount, not dismounting. So what people are going to end up doing is they're going to run up to you with their mount, hoping you dismount them, giving them this buff. This is kind of like a flipping of a coin. Like, do you dismount them and give them that buff? Or do you wait for them to dismount on you? Now, remember, one hit in PvP will take them off the mount. So even if you accidentally hit them with a skill, it takes them off the mount, giving them this buff. So we're going to see hordes of people running into each other with mounts, waiting for people to dismount them, giving them these buffs. That's how it's really going to affect PvP. We're also going to have like mount store items, that kind of stuff, whatever. But generally speaking, like, this is really going to affect open world PvP in a good way. It's going to give you a little more diversity. We're obviously going to get a lot more diversity with the builds that are coming up and all the changes to the attribute bonus thresholds. And I mean, I'm very excited for this. This is going to be really fun. I just hope these aren't too broken. Like, I hope these empowers aren't for like 30 seconds. Hope it's like maybe 10 seconds or something like that. But generally speaking, I'm very excited for mount buff items. It's going to be great. Now, the other thing they mentioned, they don't want PV mounts to really affect PvP. They want to minimize their impact, which I understand, which is a good thing. This isn't Albion Online where they have a full-fledged mount system. They're just throwing this out there. It's their first, toe in the water with mounts, which I appreciate. The way they're doing the combat state and how you can't summon it when you're in a combat state, great. Summoning has a 2-second delay, which is great. I mean, I don't know if decks and healers will be able to get away if it's a 2-second delay. Obviously any PvP damage will cancel the summon, that's how it should be. And the other thing I'm a little interested in is when you get hit with any damage from another player, will dismount you. I do like this because this makes it a little more fair for melee. Obviously, ranged are going to be the dominant class when it comes to open world PvP. You have distance between you two. It's kind of like OPR. There's a lot more diversity when it comes to builds in open world PvP because there's a lot more coverage in open world, generally speaking, and it's a lot better just for playing in small squads. I think it's just open world PvP is just BIS in my opinion over wars, over OPR, over arenas. Although I do really like arenas, it's going to be incredible. So the way they're introducing it is going to be very good. At first, obviously they said they can tweak it as required, but here's the catch to this, the catch-22 to this, which I really do not understand. So to further reduce mount interference in open world PvP, the PvP timer that governs a player's worth if killed will be paused when mounted, similar to Safe Zone. So they're effectively reducing the PvP XP on people when they're on a mount, which I don't think this is required. I think this is kind of ridiculous. You're actually taking away the PvP XP of players when they're on a mount. I really don't understand why you'd ever want to do that. It makes no sense in my opinion. I'm pretty sure they're going to adjust this. Now, I haven't seen what the new XP is when you're doing open world PvP. They might have adjusted that up quite a bit. I hope they did. But I don't think this is required. I think this should be, if you're on a mount and you're flagged, and it should always be going up. I don't see why this should be a nerf to that. And this goes with the XP acquired, and the bonus thresholds, which, like I said, I don't really think this is required. I hope they change this back to just being normal. If you're flagged, that's it. So this is what I think is going to happen with open world PvP, guys, on mounts at least. And I'm really excited to see new people out there just running on mounts. You know, I want to see like a raid of people coming over a hill to attack us. Like, I'm very excited for that kind of stuff. So once again, I appreciate you all. Peace out.